Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now we finally have a confirmation signal for this falling wedge breakout on the 3-day Bitcoin chart. But in the short term, prices are still running into resistance, which I'll talk more about later in this video. So definitely stick around. First of all, just giving you a quick update on the US stock market. This right here is the Nasdaq 100 index on the daily time frame, and so far today we're actually seeing a bit of a rebound from this range of support, which is coming into play in between around 11,000 and 11.2k for the Nasdaq 100 index. And now, obviously, for those of you who have been subscribed to this channel for a while now, you'll know about this range of supports because this acted as support all the way back here in the June low, and it briefly acted as support during late September, early October, just before we briefly broke below this range of support. But obviously in the second half of October so far, we've seen a break back above this important price range with one retest and now potentially a second retest playing out right now. And so technically speaking, due to the fact that the Nasdaq 100 index is currently bouncing from this range of support, technically this is a shorter term bullish signal at the moment on the daily time frame. And on top of that, the Nasdaq 100 index right now is potentially forming an inverse head and shoulders pattern because we can clearly see a potential left shoulder ahead, and right now we're potentially forming the right shoulder for an inverse head and shoulders pattern. But I want to make it clear that at least as of right now, that potential inverse head and shoulders pattern is not yet confirmed because we still haven't even seen the right shoulder complete. And so basically for this potential inverse head and shoulders pattern to confirm, we would need to see this right shoulder complete with a breakout above the neckline, which is sitting at around 11.7k for the Nasdaq 100 index. And in case you're new to all of this, an inverse head and shoulders pattern is a bullish pattern if we confirm the pattern with a breakout above the neckline, once again at around 11.7k. So that will be the key level to break above in order to potentially flip even more bullish here. And obviously the key levels for the bears to break in order to potentially signal the next leg lower in the stock market is the bottom of this important range of support, which is at around 11,000 for the Nasdaq 100 index. And now, considering the fact that the Nasdaq 100 index is currently in a bit more of a bullish relief at the moment, this also means Bitcoin and really the overall crypto market on average is currently in more of a bullish relief at the moment. And obviously this has been the case over the last few days, ever since we basically saw the breakout in the daily Bitcoin RSI above this descending line of resistance. And as of right now, the daily Bitcoin RSI is still technically looking more bullish than bearish, as it is currently trending to the upside. And a similar thing can be said about the daily Bitcoin MACD, because as of right now, we're currently seeing bullish momentum show up in the daily Bitcoin MACD, somewhat similar to back here or back here, for example, when we obviously played out bullish price action. And on top of that, we also have a higher high in the Bitcoin price and higher lows on the daily time frame, which is the first time this has really happened since back here during the later half of June, entering into July and early August. But other than that, nothing much has changed over the last one day for this Bitcoin chart. But if we zoom out to the 3-day Bitcoin chart, over the last one day, we have finally seen another 3-day candle close with the Bitcoin price above this important descending line of resistance, which was coming into play at around 19,500 approximately. And alongside the Bitcoin price confirming this breakout to the upside with a 3-day candle close, we've also seen a confirmed breakout in the 3-day Bitcoin RSI with a 3-day candle close once again. And if anything, this breakout in the RSI is even more significant than the price action, because obviously this falling wedge pattern has been forming over the last 4 to 5 months or so, although this line of resistance in the 3-day Bitcoin RSI has been forming for nearly 2 years. So this is the first time this line of resistance in the 3-day Bitcoin RSI is breaking in nearly 2 years once again. And also due to the fact that this is no longer just a possible breakout, and instead it is now a breakout that is set in place due to the candle close, this is definitely a significant signal to pay attention to on the 3-day Bitcoin charts, because once again, this is the first significant breakout in the 3-day Bitcoin RSI that we have seen in nearly 2 years. And also due to the fact that we now have one confirmation signal for this breakout in the Bitcoin price on the 3-day time frame. This means that the technical price targets for this falling wedge pattern have now been activated. And if you want to know what those technical price targets are, then check out my last video that I posted yesterday on the channel, because in that video I went into a little bit more detail about the price targets for this pattern. But anyway, zooming into the 8-hour Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is still technically within this breakout to the upside, in between the point of the breakout and the technical price targets for this symmetrical triangle pattern, which, by the way, the price target for this pattern on the 8-hour chart is sitting at around $23,000 approximately. But as always, it is important to mention that just because 23K is a technical price target for this symmetrical triangle pattern, this does not mean that the price action is just going to go in a straight line all the way to that price target all in one go. And instead, we need to be aware of resistance levels that have the potential to stop the Bitcoin price along the way, like what we've seen over the last couple days. And obviously, it's due to price movements like this as to why it is important to always keep a stop loss on a trade like this. So for example, what I would usually do in a trade like this, trading the breakout to the upside, is first of all have a stop loss at an invalidation point when I initially opened the trade. But then as the trade moves further and further into profits, personally, I simply move my stop loss into profits, so that in the worst case scenario, let's just say if the price does not make it to the price target and turns around sooner than expected, at least that trade will be stopped out in a profit. As the worst case scenario, I would still be making profit with a stop loss. But it is important to mention that that's just letting you know what I personally do with my own money and my own trades, and that should not be taken as personal financial advice, because I don't know your personal financial situation, and obviously what you do with your own money is completely up to you. But if you want to find out more about how you can trade moves like this and how to set stop losses on those trades, then stick around to the end of this video to find out more. But anyway, zooming into the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, taking a look at some support and resistance levels, obviously we still have some strong resistance at around 20.9k to 21k, as I've been talking about for the last few days. And since then, we've obviously seen a further rejection in the price of Bitcoin just in the short term. But this is exactly what we have been needing to see, because obviously if you've been watching my videos over the last few days, then you would know about the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI was sitting in overbought territories as soon as the price ran into this important resistance. So these were signals telling us that we're due to see a bit of a cool off, which usually plays out either in the form of sideways price action or a slight pullback in the price of Bitcoin, which is obviously precisely what we've seen over the last few days. And as we can see here on the chart, while the price of Bitcoin has been cooling off over the last few days in the shorter term, we've seen the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI fully reset back towards the neutral level, which is 50. And so technically speaking, this now means that we have some more room to the upside according to the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI. And this is why pullbacks like this in the price of Bitcoin are actually healthy for an uptrend, because if the price of Bitcoin just goes straight to the upside without experiencing any pullbacks, then the RSI and price oscillators like this, for example, simply get way too overheated. And then generally speaking, after an extreme move like that, we also see an extreme move back to the downside because things are just way too overheated. But when we see pullbacks like this along the way, that gives the RSI a chance to reset to give us some more room to the upside later on in a more sustained uptrend. And so overall, just in the shorter term, technically speaking, the price of Bitcoin, also according to these price oscillators, are still looking more bullish than bearish in terms of the short-term trend at the moment. But obviously, we still need to be aware of these levels of resistance like 21k, 21.7k, and around 22.7k. And as for support levels in the short term, first I'll be looking towards around 20.3k, then around 19.7k, then around 19.1k, and anything below that, then around 18.7k as short-term support levels. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this right here is the daily Ethereum to US dollar chart, and right now the price of ETH is technically still playing out this breakout, this bullish breakout on the daily Ethereum chart ever since we got that bullish confirmation signal above 1.4k. But once again, like I've been saying over the last few days, the daily Ethereum RSI approached overbought territories, which was a signal telling telling us that we're due to see a bit of a cool off in the somewhat shorter term relative to the daily time frame. And so once again, what this means is that we're due to see potentially a bit of sideways price action, if not a bit of a shorter term pullback to help reset the RSI. And what I've been comparing this price action to over the last few days is this price action, which was of course the last time that we saw a significant breakout on the daily Ethereum to US dollar charts. And the similarities don't stop there, because obviously back during June, we saw a lot of bearish price action leading into more choppy sideways price action, which was looking like a potential bear flag at that time, until we saw that breakout above the resistance level, which was a bullish confirmation signal telling us that we're potentially about to experience more of an uptrend on the daily time frame. And once again, if you're looking at the more recent price action, we've gone from a lot of bearish price action into more choppy sideways price action, which was looking like a potential bear flag until the moment we saw a confirmed break above this resistance level at around 1.4k, which was a signal on the chart telling us that we're potentially about to experience more of an uptrend on the daily time frame. And just like we've seen recently, we also saw the daily Ethereum RSI approach overbought territories back during around the middle of July after that breakout. And what happened next in the price of ETH was simply choppy sideways price action, and in fact a slight pullback in the price of ETH to help reset the daily Ethereum RSI to give us some more room to the upside later on. And so based on all of this data and all of these similarities, at the moment that's basically what I'm expecting moving forward. Perhaps a little bit more of a cool off here on the daily time frame, because what we saw last time was pretty much around 1 week worth of cool off before the uptrend continued. But overall, in terms of the trend at the moment on the daily Ethereum chart, and in terms of the price oscillators looking at the momentum at the moment, technically speaking, things are currently still looking more bullish than bearish at the moment on the daily time frame. But if you zoom into the shorter term, taking a look at the 4-hour Ethereum to US dollar chart, right now the price of ETH is still finding resistance along this golden pocket level of resistance, which is coming into play in between around 1550 to 1560 approximately. And so once again, like I've been saying over the last few days, that is still the important range of resistance for the price of ETH to break above in order to experience any more bullish price action. And if that happens, then the next level of resistance beyond this golden pocket that I'll be watching is sitting at around 1650, and beyond that, then I'll be looking closer towards around 1780, close to 1.8k. And as for support in the short term, we have support at around 1480, support at around 1.4k, and below that, support at around 1330 approximately. And as of right now, if you're looking at the 4-hour Ethereum price oscillators, right now the RSI is experiencing its reset with this short-term cool-off as expected. And technically speaking, with the RSI resetting towards its neutral value, which is 50, this is now technically showing us that there is some more room to the upside now compared to a few days ago in the 4-hour Ethereum RSI. And so once again, at least as of right now, things are technically looking more bullish than bearish in terms of the trend and in terms of the momentum in the short term. But obviously, even during a more bullish trend, we can still experience some short-term bearish price action in the form of short-term cool-offs, just like how in a bearish trend, we can still experience some bullish price action throughout the bearish trend. And obviously, as soon as I start to see some more bearish confirmation signals on the chart pointing towards a trend reversal into another bearish trend, I'll be sure to point them out here in these videos on this channel and also in real time over on my Twitter, link down below. But in the meantime, if you want to know how to trade these moves in the market to maximize your profits in crypto and know how to set things like stop losses, which are important to know, then make sure to check out these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left of your screen shows you how to trade moves like this in the market when the price is going either up or down and set stop losses. And the video in the bottom left of your screen shows you how to make money in a choppy sideways price range. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.